Hey guys, Jungle Explorer here, and today we're going to be talking about this Campark T85 20 megapixel Wi-Fi connected camera. Alright guys, this was sent to me by the Campark company for free to do a review on. This is the first camera of the 2020 deer season that I'm going to be doing a review on. If you're part of my YouTube community, you know that I put out a question last month asking if you guys would like to see more reviews on trail cameras, game cameras, stuff like that. I was pondering not to do them this year, but I got such a positive response. Over 80% of the people that responded said that they would like to see more trail cam reviews for 2020. So I went ahead, put out the feelers. Campark sent me this camera to do the review, so I'm really glad to have it. Been wanting to get another camera from Campark. I've had a lot of good positive reactions to the review I did on their T45 camera, so this T85 is an upgrade from that. I'm really excited to do this review, so let me go ahead and bust this baby out of the box and see what Campark has sent me here. Alright, let's open this box up. Got your user manual there, and nice little camera here. Sure. So let's pull it out. Okay. It's kind of an odd camo. I like the camo on the T45 better, but it's not bad. As long as the animals can't see it. That's very similar to the T45 design. Got the double or side sensors there. What I call them pre-sensors. It has some bigger latches on it than the T45. Double latches, opens up like that. Let's see what else they sent in the box here. It's got a nice hardware mounting plate for mounting to a tree, a fence, or concrete wall. And probably, let's see what we got here in this little side compartment here that I'm having trouble to get out. Alright, so we got that. And what else? Let's just dump that baby out. Faster way. Okay, so we've got the data cable there and a strap. But I actually like these. I prefer these. And I already have some permanently mounted to my testing area, so I'm not even going to use this. I'll just use the ones that I already have out there. And we'll use those. So, alright, well, let's get her out in the field. And I'll be back here in about 2-3 weeks with some results. Alright, we're back. And it's been 16 days since I've dropped this baby in the field. And it took over 1,000 pictures and videos, and it did really good. So let's talk about how it did, what I liked about it, what I think needs improvement, and everything else. All right, so let's start off with the basic design of the camera. There's several things about the camera that are really good that I want to talk about. Now, if you go onto YouTube and you type Campark T45 Trail Cam review, you're going to find out that my review of the Campark T45 is the #1 most viewed video on YouTube. It's one of the most popular reviews out there. Now, in that review, I detailed what I liked about the Campark T45 and what I didn't like. And there are several things that I mentioned in there that I thought could be improved from the T45. Now, the T45 won a couple of 4-camera face-offs, and so it's not that it was a bad camera, but there were some things I talked about that I felt that needed improvement based on my experience and also the experience of some of the people that have watched my videos and wrote in about them. And Campark has listened to all of those complaints, and they have addressed them. So I really think they actually watched my video when trying to design this camera, because they addressed almost every single one of the points that I made in that video. So let's start with what they addressed, okay? They made the latches bigger. They were smaller and weaker on the Campark T45. So I said, they felt kind of weak. They did make these bigger and easy to get to. All right. The second thing is they put this little pull string in here, helps get the door open to the battery case. That was a complaint I had. Now, one of the main things is they switched to the full-size SD card slot here in the bottom, whereas the Campark T45 had the micro SD, and it was very hard to get in and out. They changed that. They went to a full size. That is a big plus. And I know a lot of people are going to be happy about that improvement. The other thing that I complained about was the video format file, which was the T45 records videos in an AVI format, and that's not a universally compatible video. Smartphones won't play it unless you download the VLC player, and there's a lot of people that have had problems playing the AVI files. They go in fast motion, they don't play all the way through. Fortunately, they have corrected that, and in this camera, the videos are recorded to MP4 format, which is a universally supported format. Apple, Windows, Android, all of them support that. It plays good, it plays normal, so I was really excited about those things. So that's the major things that I asked them to look at, was the door latches, the SD card slot, and the video file format. They've addressed all three of those. At the end of this review, I'll talk about one more improvement that I feel they should do, but right now let's get into the stats of what I got out of this test. Alright, so let's talk about the stats, and I will throw them up on screen as I read them off here, okay? So, stat number 1, I put this in the field for 16 days. The initial voltage of the batteries was 1.6 volts. Each battery had 1.6 volts of energy when I put it in. Okay? I had the camera set to take a picture and video, and, well, actually set it to take 5 pictures, and those were 20 megapixel pictures, and 1 Ultra HD video of 15 seconds. The PRI, or the interval between activation, was 10 minutes. So every 10 minutes, if an animal walked in front of the camera, it would take 5 pictures and 1 15-second video. All right, so let's look at the results after 16 days in the field. After 16 days in the field, the ending voltage was 1.42 volts. Now that seems like a large drop in voltage for only 16 days, but the camera recorded 1,002 files. All right, so that's a lot of files to record. Now remember, I had set to take 5 pictures, not just 1 picture, and a 15-second video. All right, so the total files, 1,002 files. There were 835 images and 167 video files. If you divide 835 by 5, you get 167. So the camera worked flawlessly in that area. It took 5 pictures for every video flawlessly, no errors there. The total data size that was written to the card was 6.1 gigabytes. Okay, that's a lot of data to write. Each image size was an average of 3.7 megabytes for each image. Video size was 1.2 megabytes per second of video. That's a good video size for this size camera in Ultra HD. Alright, so those are the hard stats for the camera during the testing. Now, let's talk about the actual things that matter, which are the images. Okay, so now I'm going to throw some pictures up for you. This first picture is going to be a nighttime picture of a big hog that's been coming to my feeder here. This is a pretty good sized hog. He's probably, 200 to 250 pounds, maybe even bigger. This next picture here is of a deer, a doe that's coming to my feeder. This next picture here is of a different deer in the daytime, early morning time. Going to go ahead and throw another picture here later on in the day of a couple of does that are coming to my feeder in a more bright day. And here's a picture of a cat, a feral cat, long-haired feral cat that's coming to my feeder. And here is a picture of a coyote that's coming to my feeder at night. All right, so those pictures give you a good idea of how it's doing daytime, nighttime. One thing I forgot to mention here is that unlike the T45, this one has the no glow infrareds. I looked at it at night. I could not see any glow on them at all. Okay, so the nighttime pictures on this are exceptional for no glow infrared lights. The T45 had some of the best nighttime pictures of all the different trail cameras that I've looked at and tested. And when you switch to the no glows, generally that degrades the quality of the nighttime pictures pretty badly, to the point that sometimes they're not even usable. But in the case of the T85, it actually shoots really good nighttime pictures for the no-glow light bulbs. You know, and the daytime pictures are phenomenal. The color balance is just perfect on them. There's a lot of detail. These are some really great pictures out of this camera right here. I've got no complaints with the quality of the pictures of the camera. All right, so let's talk about the picture of the coyote. Let me throw that up there. Okay, I took a series of 5 pictures of that coyote, and it stood there the whole time. All right. Now you're like, well, what's that got to do with anything? If you've never run a trail camera before, you really don't know how rare it is for you to catch a picture of a coyote. Coyotes are extremely sensitive to light, especially the infrared lights. And every other camera that I have put out, you might get one picture of a coyote, but the next picture he's going to be gone because it's going to scare him. As soon as he sees the infrared lights, he is going to bolt like a flash. In most cases, their reaction to the camera turning on is so fast that all you catch is a blur. You don't even catch a picture of the animal. But in this case, I got 5 pictures of the coyote. It never knew that it was being taken a picture of. It was not afraid. So that's telling you that these are really good. In fact, in all the pictures, I never could tell the animals really were aware that the camera was going off. They were perfectly comfortable with it. Okay, so let's go to the videos now. I'm going to throw you a nighttime picture of a video. There you go. There's a couple of does there. And, you know, it's really good video for no-glow infrared lights because they're not putting out enough light for most cameras to actually take good video. So this is pretty good. So here's a afternoon video with some clouds in the sky, and you can see the deer there. Here's another one. In the daytime, we got some does coming in the morning to the feeder, running up there. Here is a nighttime video of the hog. Now, one thing that I want you to realize here is that there is some sound to this camera. Now, the T45 had a microphone, but you couldn't hear anything. This actually has really good sound. I'm going to throw a video up here of my wife and my grandson coming to the feeder. You can't see them, but you can hear them talking. You can hear the ATV running there. So that's some pretty good sound. You can understand what they're saying. So if you're going to use this as a security camera, that is actually pretty good because it has good sound, okay? So there you go. There's your videos and your pictures. And I have 0 complaints about the quality of the pictures of the T85. There's just really good. The MP4 format really plays well. I tested on several players, no problem. Man, I'm really impressed with Campark on the T85. They really did upgrade the camera. It's not just another camera, the same thing, just a different, a different style or a different color. They actually did some improvements. So let's run over them again. They put bigger latches on it. They increased to a full-size SD card. They switched from AVI video format to MP4 video format. And all those things are really, really good. Now, this camera does have Wi-Fi, and I did use this. And what that Wi-Fi does is it allows you, since the door opens up like this when it's mounted onto a tree, you can't see where the camera is pointing. So if you connect it with Wi-Fi, you can actually have it closed, and you can use your phone to point the camera and see where the camera is pointing. You could also look at your videos and stuff on your camera if you wanted to use that. You know, it takes a little bit to play them via Wi-Fi. So it's me, I just pull the card. Cards are cheap. I take extra cards in the field with me, you know, and I just pull the cards and then put a new one in there. But some people, you know, if you only had one card and you want to download your pictures via Wi-Fi, you could do that. I used it mostly for just pointing the camera, and it worked well. Sensor-wise, let's talk about that. Okay, so we ended up with 835 pictures, which means that the camera activated 167 times in a 16-day period. And every one of those, I did not find a single time that this camera was activated that there was not a live animal on screen. Okay? It activated with things as small as cottontails and as big as deers. There was never a point in time that I took a picture, there was a video or pictures of something that wasn't there. There was always something there. So I'm going to throw an image up here, and you can see that there's some grass. I didn't actually mow this time. A lot of times I'll mow the area where the camera is so there won't be any weeds or anything that could blow in the wind. But there's actually some clumps of grass and a sunflower there that actually was moving in the wind, and it didn't set the camera off. So it's not sensitive as to grass and non-animal life movement. It really picked up animal life very well, and just really took a lot of great images. So the bottom line is, I don't really think there's a whole lot here to complain about. At least in this camera, in my test, this camera did very, very well. All right, so what could be improved on this? Well, I mean, it's a great camera. It has, you know, your straps. It has dual tripod mounts. There's not a whole lot to improve on it. If I had to nitpick and say pick a couple of things that I would say that this camera could stand to be improved on, I would like to see the SD card moved up to the side so I don't have to get on my knees to pull it out or bend down if it's down low. I'm not a huge fan of this style of battery compartment, even though they put this cord on here to make it easier. I would love to see the removable tray, like on the Globo camera that I reviewed last year. Let's sum this review up. The Campark T85 is definitely an upgrade from the Campark T45, which was a great camera, still is a great camera. I may do a side-by-side test of just to see how much it upgraded, since it's been a while since I reviewed that camera. But this is definitely an upgrade. They've improved the infrared lights, put the no-glows in. They put a large SD card in. This one has Wi-Fi functionality to it. It had great sensor. It only sensed animals. It didn't have a lot of false positives, or any false positives, in fact. Battery life was good. Picture quality good. Video quality, daytime video, nighttime video. Just everything about it was good. Nothing to complain about. You know, like the T45, it's got a solid build to it. They got better latches on this one here that are a little bit bigger. It's got a rope place to tie it with a rope or a strap, double tripod mounts on it. It's got right here a 6-volt external solar power pack, or external battery pack port here if you want to use it on an external battery pack. That's great. You know, I've got no complaints about this camera whatsoever. So I'm going to run it all season this year, and hopefully it's going to continue to perform. We're going to maybe do a side-by-side comparison with the Campark T45 just to throw that review if you want to see how much better this is than that. Alright guys, well, if you've enjoyed this video, please like, subscribe, and comment. Remember to click the little bell when you subscribe, and if you're interested in this camera, I will place a link to it in the description of the video. Just click on that if you want to see this product on Amazon.com. Until next time, this is the Jungle Explorer, signing out.